Our thanks to Bob Airy for being our guest between periods. Lubin and Smalley will donate a floral arrangement to Children's Hospital in Bob Airy's name.
This segment of Hockey Smarts is brought to you by Mellon Bank. Join the thousands of smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. One of the most important elements for each team is the face-off. The home team has the advantage of the man taking the face-off to be the last to put his stick on the ice. When the puck leaves the playing area at either end or the side, the action will stop and a face-off occurs. If the puck is shot into the attacking zone and goes off a defending player, then the face-off will occur at the point of the defending zone from where it was deflected. If the puck is shot out of play by an attacking player, whether he was in the attacking zone or outside, then the face-off will occur at the point outside the defending zone from where it happened. If it was deflected below the face-off circle, then the face-off will occur at the nearest end zone face-off spot. If it was deflected above the face-off circles, then the face-off happens at the point from where the puck was deflected. No face-offs may happen at a distance of no less than 15 feet from the goal or sideboards. For icing, the face-off is returned to the offending team's zone at the end face-off spot. For offsides, the face-off occurs at the nearest face-off spot outside the attacking zone blue line. And for the offside pass, the face-off occurs at the point from where the pass was made. After a penalty has been assessed, face-offs will be taken to the defending zone of the guilty team at the nearest face-off spot. And following goals, and at the start of the game and of each period, face-offs occur at the center ice face-off spot. Be sure to be with us again for another installment of Mellon Bank Hockey Smarts.
Been with the bank long?
Quite some time.
All right, what's the atomic weight of carbon?
Not again.
Come on.
12.
The capital of Nepal?
Kathmandu. But this isn't what we mean by smart.
What were the economic principles governing the medieval feudal system?
Well, the allocation of land in an agriculturally based society is determined by class.
Join thousands of other smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. See why the smart money is coming to Mellon.
The evolution of the minivan is now complete.
Look for the showroom displaying the new logo of the dealers with the advantage.
Tony Post is wearing Rockport dress shoes. They're great-looking business shoes, but these shoes are so comfortable, they ran the marathon. They're engineered with Rockport comfort technology. They're lighter than most running shoes, and so shock-absorbent, Tony ran the 26 miles in 3 hours and 2 minutes. Rockports, the dress shoes so comfortable, they ran the marathon.
Rockports make you feel like walking.
Little's has your size. Forbes Avenue and Squirrel Hill.
Hi, I'm Jim Rooker.
And I'm Bill Landrum. We're inviting you to be a part of the Pirate Family Fun Run Saturday morning, May 11th at Three Rivers Stadium.
Enjoy the tailgate party, prizes, refreshments, and a free ticket to the ball game. Be a part of the Pirate Family Fun Run and support the Epilepsy Foundation of Western Pennsylvania.
Please call 261-5880 or pick up an application at your local Farm More.
We are back at the Civic Arena where the Penguins lead the Boston Bruins 1-0, but the Bruins will have a power play opportunity, work with a man advantage in the second period when we start the second frame. Start your own Penguins videotape library by calling Genesis Video Productions at 1-800-TRY-PENS. They have a full selection of all the games the Penguins have played this year. And if you would want this one or any of the other ones the Penguins have been involved in, call that number, 1-800-TRY-PENS. And Stop and Go has all your playoff party needs, including the Rock'em Pens rally rags for sale at all of the Stop and Go locations. Proceeds from the rally rag will benefit the Ashley Barrasso Cancer Research Fund. So stop by and pick up one and root for the Penguins. At the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, the Penguins in Game 4 have a 1-0 lead, and will return in just a moment here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Why is it so difficult to communicate? Why do people hurt each other? Why do some guys have a hard time adjusting? Why? Ask why. Try Bud Dry. It's cold filtered for smooth draft taste. It's dry brewed for no aftertaste. It's the perfect refreshment for the games people play.
Experience the new generation of owner satisfaction at Ferranti Oldsmobile in Vandergrift. Ferranti Oldsmobile features one of the area's best selections of new Oldsmobiles, like the sporty Cutlass Calais, the exciting new Cutlass Supreme, the luxurious Olds Toronado Trofeo, and the aerodynamic Silhouette minivan. Ferranti Oldsmobile stands behind every new and used car with quality GM parts and service. Experience the Oldsmobile edge at Ferranti Oldsmobile in
All Giant Eagle stores are open for business and ready to serve you. At all Pittsburgh area Giant Eagle stores, you'll find Maxwell House coffee just $3.99 a 39-ounce can. Honeysuckle turkeys just 58 cents a pound. Save an extra $1 on both with in-ad coupons. Also, russet potatoes are just 98 cents a 10-pound bag. All Giant Eagle stores will accept any Giant Eagle, Foodland, or Shop and Save check cashing cards. For more information regarding any Giant Eagle, call toll-free 1-800-553-2324.
Penguin Hockey is brought to you by King's Family Restaurants. For lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it. Next time, make it King's. By Mellon Bank. Join thousands of other smart people and sign up for the Smart Account today. And by the Acura dealers of Western Pennsylvania. If you drive an Acura, you'll buy an Acura. One goal in the game, that by the Pittsburgh Penguins. And the Pens scored at 8:49 of the first period. And again, a good all-around effort from Mark Recchi, Mario Lemieux, and then Bob Airy to finish it off. Lemieux coming from behind the net and fed it over to Airy, who slipped it in behind Andy Moog, and the Penguins had the only goal of the period. They almost scored a second time in the game late in the period on a penalty to Jeff Lazaro, and they came in and put good sustained pressure. Mario Lemieux shooting the puck off of goaltender Andy Moog. I thought it had hit the pipe, but he made the save, actually.
Shot out right off his glove.
Here's the play again. I think that
one hit the post.
Yeah,
you're
that
right.
one did.
Well, Mario must be talking to himself right now.
The play was whistled down, so the Penguins did not score on that big action around the net. Now the Bruins start the second period on a power play with Kevin Stevens in, and call it a gut feeling or whatever you want, Paul. I have a funny feeling this period may well decide the series. I just think that whoever takes command of the game at this second period might well go on and win it. It's there. The Bruins need to bounce back, and I look for a strong effort from them, and we'll see what the Penguins do here.
Well, the Bruins had 11 shots in that first period, and the Penguins had held them to 9 or fewer shots in 7 of the 9 periods coming into this game. So even just getting 2 more shots than what they've been getting most of the time is, I think, a plus for the Bruins. And I think it's indicative of the way they played. They played a pretty strong first period. They're skating much better in this game, and they are using the physical tactics against the Pens. And I think more than it's affecting the Penguins' game in the sense that it's knocking them, preventing them from making plays and such. I think more than that, it's getting the Penguins to start thinking they've got to hit and play a checking game. And I think when the Penguins do that a little too much, it tends to take them right out of their game. They start lunging at players, and they get out of their rhythm. They need to get back into that tempo that of skating and moving the puck and trying to negate the Bruins' physical play that way.
I don't know. I might. Well, we're here. That's what we're here for. I might disagree with you, because I think in games 2 and 3, the Penguins played that way, played physical against the Bruins, played their game basically, and took them out of it. So.
But it was more of a flow game. I mean, it was just. I'm just concerned about like what Kevin Stevens did on the penalty. They can't afford to do that kind of stuff.
And especially with McCreary calling the game as close as he is tonight, and it appears now they've been forewarned that it's going to be that way. Here's Ruzicka on the power play to begin period number 2. Wesley throw it up down the boards into the Penguins' end, and Barrasso leaves the puck for Ralph Samuelson, and around the wood it goes, and by Ray Bourque back to Bruins territory. Andy Moog, Randy Gillen, who's played well for the Penguins in a penalty killing effort tonight. Off the left side, Mullen looks over his shoulder, has it Bruins in, turns and shoots it right to the net, and a good save by Andy Moog. Almost caught him flat-footed, but he made the save on Joey Mullen. Now with 48 seconds to go, here come the Bruins. Wesley to center circle. Going right to the Penguins' end. Down the right wing to Ruzicka. Ruzicka, Boston, pulls back, goes to the corner. Now went in around behind the net carrying the puck. Stops on the near side. Turned around by Paul Stan. The Bruins set it up again. Janney trying to feed it over to Ruzicka. Does. Left point now. It goes to Wesley of Boston. Wesley back to Ruzicka. Looks the net over. Fires it right on. The save by Barrasso. The rebound. Right back to Ruzicka. He moves it over right point to Ray Bork. Bork left side over to Ruzicka. They used Bork on the left point in the first 2 power play chances. Now up at the right, and they go to him now. That spot, he fakes it, goes to Ruzicka down the slot. Can't shoot it. He was checked now. Loose puck in front. Who will get it? Bob Erie bounces it up ice.
Samuelson was hurt on that play. I don't know what happened, but he went down and immediately got off the ice.
Penalty is over. Stevens is on. Penguins and the Bruins in. Here's a play in front. Scott Young couldn't deflect it home. And it comes off the body of Bob Sweeney back to center. Larry Murphy to Scott Young. Young will pull up. Took a sweep out of it. Lost the puck. And Peter Duras now going to the Penguins end. Lost control of it to Larry Murphy. One of the Bruins down as Marquardt hurt his arm against the boards in the Penguins end. Penguins come back and Stevens takes a shot right on Moog. He'll make the save. Marquardt still down back in the Penguin zone and he's hurt. Nevin Marquardt of the Bruins lost his edge on his skate and went down right into the boards. Nobody really hit him. He just kind of lost the edge on his skate, it appeared, and went in, and he is hurt. Marquardt coming back from assorted injuries, and he'll head to the bench. 1-0 Pittsburgh. 18:08 to go in the second period on the Penguins Hockey Network.
The world's greatest driving range, McDane Golf Center, routes 48 and 130 in Monroeville. You've got to see it to believe it. Water hazard at the world's greatest driving range, McDane Golf Center, routes 48 and 130 in Monroeville. You've got to see it to believe it.
Face-off Bruins in, top of the circle to the left of Andy Moog. And Ron Francis in for the Penguins with Joe Mullen and Kevin Stevens. Dave Christian out here to work for the Bruins with Petri Skriko on one wing, and the other man will be Ruzicka, or pardon me, it'll be Nyland. Left side, a shot by Roberts. Stopped by Moog. He'll drop it to the right of his own goal. Swing it around the boards. Penguins lead 1-0. Larry Murphy's in deep in the place. And centered it anyway, but Bob Sweeney, or Nyland now, force it back to center ice. The Bruins after it. Gary Garley drags it into the Penguins in, trying to get against number 28, his counterpart, Roberts, and Roberts takes him all the way behind the net. Stevens behind the Penguin goal. Giving the puck to Larry Murphy. Murphy coolly comes up through center. Whip it to the left wing corner behind the Bruin defense, and it goes to Ron Francis. Penguins beating the Bruins with that puck again. Back in front of Stevens, knocked away. Murphy has it. Backhand shot and a big save by Moog there on Larry Murphy. Mullen now turns it over to the far boards. But the Bruins have it, and Dave Christian back on a 3-on-2. Christian right side, Penguins in, comes in, a shot, and he missed the net. Around off the boards, it's Wesley who holds it in. Look for Nyland, but the Penguins back to get it. And Francis taps that one back to Bruins territory. It'll be an icing call. Bob Beers will touch it. The Penguins came that close to scoring just a moment ago. Lyndon Byers on here now for the Bruins. But then the Bruins came back and they had a 3-on-2, and the shot by the Bruins misfired.
I'll tell you, Mike, you see the Bruins come down on a 3-on-2, and the way it developed, the defense was racing to get back. It was practically a 3-on-1. I mean, the Penguins were kind of out of position even coming back on the 3-on-2. And the Bruins, no creativity whatsoever. Again, is Christian, who's a good scorer and probably likes to shoot that puck, maybe to a fault on that particular play, because he had two other players skating with him, and there was no flow, there was no ad-libbing whatsoever by the other two guys to maybe create a play there. And the puck missed the net. A shot by Christian.
Face-off Penguins into the right of Tom Barrasso. Bob Sweeney on the ice. Sweeney has Byers and Lazaro on either side, and here's the face-off left point of the Penguins into Wesley. Lost the puck to Lemieux for a moment. Now spinning the puck ahead will be Taglianetti, and at the red line the Bruins have it. They give it away, and Gillen trying to come up to the Bruins zone. He stopped at the blue line. Recchi is hit from behind by Lyndon Byers, and on with it will be Grant Jennings. Throwing the puck in behind the Bruins net. Andy Moog gets it over to Chris Nyland. Nyland, soft little pass that comes off a leg and does come through to center circle. Taglianetti of Pittsburgh paired with Grant Jennings. Jennings looking for room. He had a big goal for the Penguins in game number 3. And he shoots it in. Andy Moog banking around the boards and out back to center. 16:34 to go in period number 2. The Penguins lead 1-0. Recchi again turns it back into the Bruins zone. And Bob Beers, the young defenseman, through to center ice. He got around a man Bork. That's Phil Bork, but he couldn't beat Taglianetti, and Peter Taglianetti corrals it. He'll leave the biscuit for Mark Recchi, and the Penguins in. Avoided a check by Lazaro. Recchi, the wrecking ball coming to the Bruins line. Down the left side, trying to get around Beers. Beers will stand him up, knock him down. Penalty coming up against Beers for pulling down Mark Recchi. Bob Beers got his hands into Mark Recchi. The wrecking ball. Now hit from behind by Byers, who's hitting him on every chance he gets. Lyndon Byers, and we'll return. Penguins 1, Bruins nothing on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Before I decided which car to buy, I looked around for the best deal. Toyota Corolla. Sure, price was important, but compared to other four doors in its class, Corolla's low repair cost and best resale value convinced me. I mean, compared to Ford Tempo, Corolla could save us thousands, and that's important.
Good, Dad.
Because I got better things to spend my money on.
See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota value. It's the best deal going.
Mark Recchi trying to beat Beers. First wide, then cut back to the inside, and Beers spun him around, and Recchi drew that penalty, no doubt about it. And the Penguins go back to work in another Ironman advantage.
Well, they start here in the Bruins end, but the Bruins win the draw, and they slam it up ice. Dave Christian along with Nevin Marquardt on for the Bruins. Marquardt, I guess, is a guy that's really blessed with the ability to come up with different words. We'll talk about him in a moment. Out to center it goes to Stevens. And he can't get in. Back to the Penguin line. On Byers, Marquardt said he's been down in Florida. He said he is tan, lubed, and ready to go. And Marquardt, he'd been off for quite some time. Bork now slams it back into the Bruins in. Somebody lost a stick. Who was that? One of the Bruins? Picked up around the boards. It comes over to the near side. Murphy comes over with the Penguins, trying to get to it. And he can't beat Wesley, and the Bruins again sneak it back down to the Penguins in. The Bruins 0 for 3 in the power play. The Penguins 0 for 2.
Joe Castriota of Pittsburgh, our contestant on the Ironman Advantage contest.
Bill Bork now cutting his way into the Bruins in. Down the right side, he's in a strong series so far against the Bruins. Going to Murphy, shooting towards, and that block, and he gets it back. Over to the right point, but there's nobody home. Bork can cut over to play the left point. And Don Sweeney directs it back to the Penguin stripe. 55 seconds to go. The Penguins are a little bit unorganized right now in their power play, trying to get it moving. And Recchi to the left side goes to Phil Bork in deep. He'll come down, put the brakes on, looks back for Mario Lemieux. It's in the corner, and Stevens is after it. Over to Lemieux, and they want him to get it. Behind the net to Mark Recchi. Sweeney bumps him hard. Down to Lemieux, left wing corner. 1-0 Pittsburgh to Recchi. Behind the net, centers it for Stevens, and it comes in front and wide of the goal. Now Recchi hit heavily again on a check in the near corner. Stevens put it behind the net to Lemieux, and look out. Lemieux wheel and deal. Lemieux feeding in front. One by Stevens, and all the way back into the Penguin zone. Lemieux just tried to feather it across so Stevens can get in one motion, but he misfired on it. Bill Bork back with 20 seconds to go in the Boston penalty. Up to Larry Murphy, final rush to Yager, and he's flying to the Bruins in. Yager to the right wing, sets it up for Recchi. Back to Yager, and he couldn't get it through. Good play by Peterson. Recchi again with it. Over to Yager, near corner. Lemieux behind the net. Recchi goes in front. So does Yager. He's trying to feed it to him. He can't. Lemieux again with that puck. Leave it for Yager. Penalty is over now. In 1 second, Beers comes on. Here's Recchi shooting. A good save by Bogue. The rebound comes out to Beers and right by him, and it goes through to center ice. Samuelson pokes that one back into the Bruins end. Well, Yager was flying out there, and as he came in late on that power play. On right wing, here's Samuelson up in it by Neely, who bowls him over. And a good check by Cam Neely and off Samuelson. Samuelson from behind the Penguin net. Around the near wing to Brian Trottier. Puts the brakes on. He is hit heavily by Cam Neely. But the Penguins again force it back to center in a 1-0 Pittsburgh lead. Right wing to Janney. The Bruins are offside. Entering the Penguin zone. 13:37 to go. In period number 2, the Penguins holding on to a 1-0 lead here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. What can I rustle up for you, partner?
If you think you're saving money eating fast food, think about this. At King's, for the same money, you could get lots of choices. Lots of delicious food. And lots of time to enjoy it.
Yippee-yi-yo!
Next time, make it King's.
As if the Bruins didn't have trouble enough losing Dave Poon and Kenny Hodge, 2 center icemen. Bob Sweeney has just gone to the Bruins locker room. It did not appear to be an injury, maybe some equipment problems, so they're really short-handed center icemen here. Janney's going to come out and center Marquardt and Cam Neely. And Trottier with Scott Young and Troy Loney. And Wesley handles the puck, and he'll flip it towards the Penguins in. In the far corner, Samuelson going back to retrieve it, trying to get it to Loney, who's hit from behind by Neely. Trottier stepped into by Bob Beers and sent flying. And we'll get a face-off just inside the Penguin blue line as they fell on top of that puck. Brian Trottier. There's a new angle here from the Civic Arena.
Now they got a camera up there on the catwalk, all the way up to the top of the roof. What do they call that? The gondola up there?
That's more than a gondola. I've been up there. I went up there.
No, it's a crow's nest, right?
Crow's nest. Did you go up to the Gunner when he was here?
I've been up there before.
I have too. We had a radio show. The Gunner did when he was here with the Penguins. Went upstairs and had a little breakfast on the top of the roof. Outside, it goes right up to the top of the roof. You can go outside. Janney put it back in behind the Boston net. A little orange juice and a few other things, and about 20 below zero weather in February. Here's Loney shooting off Moog's blocking glove. Scott Young went in. Right back in behind the Boston goal. Scott Young turned around. Loney keeps working hard now against the man, putting it around behind the net. Now steps it in on the short side on Moog. That stop made. Beers and Moog get involved, and they push and shove. Troy Loney working hard in or behind that net area. Tried to wrap around, and Andy Moog stopped him on the short side.
The Bruins are taking every opportunity to get in the faces of the Penguins and play physically. Glenn Wesley, a guy who can do that. And the only thing I can think of is the Penguins have been through all of this already in the playoffs. The New Jersey Devils played about as physically as you can play against Pittsburgh. And the Penguins fought through that and won a 7-game series. So they're not going to go away. The Penguins aren't going to back down to the Bruins or allow this to really phase them too much. Troy Loney trying to get him to work around that net. Cam Neely pushes him away.
.12 minutes and 51 seconds left here in the second period. Penguins leading 1-0 on a goal by Bob Airy. And Burrage has the assignment against Ron Francis. Left wing circle, Bruins in. Game 5 will be at Boston coming up on Thursday night. And Game 6, if necessary, will be here at the Civic Arena on Saturday. Balls face off, and they get ready to do it again. Tagonetti and Jennings, the two Penguin defensemen. Burrage losing the draw. He's playing center ice right now with Sweeney off. Poulin and Hodge also out of the lineup. They've got Burrage in there, who has played some in the Montreal series at center. Around to Francis it goes, trying to beat Alan Peterson. Does center in front of Stevens, trying to wrist shot block. Now he flips it towards the net, and Andy Moog very coolly reaches with a glove and pulls it in. Alan Peterson struggling a little bit here to get back. He hasn't played for a while, and you can see it in this game. His timing's not there, Paul, and he's missing plays on trying to take people out of action. Now they're going to send on another line with Ruzicka, Skriko, and Christian. And I think they'll put Christian at center ice here. Here comes Bob Sweeney back on. And the Bruins center iceman returning to the ice.
Well, they want Christian to take the draw because he's a right-handed shooter. They want him to pull it back to the corner against Ronnie Francis.
And he can't do it. Left point. Here is Grant Jennings in the Boston end. Just dumping it behind the net. Francis after it. Former Whaler pulled down by Dave Christian. Play goes on. Mullen over to Stevens. Back to Joey Mullen. Mullen looks now, turns and shoots it. It was deflected on the way to the net by Ray Bourque. Stevens in again there, corner. He has caused the Bruins all kinds of problems with his size, Kevin Stevens. Around to the right side, Tagonetti tried to shoot it. Stevens got it, but he gave it away to the Bruins. Skriko on lead pass to Ruzicka. Back on a two-line offside pass. Cannot pass across two lines unless the pass and the man originates in the same zone, and he was across center red when he took that pass, and it's a two-line offside pass. So there are two offside plays in the game of hockey.
Now, if Ruzicka were behind the red line when that puck crosses the red line, then he would be considered onside, and he just was barely over. He was practically straddling that red line.
The skate's the determining factor there.
Right.
I tell you, that was pretty close.
Really
I'm not so sure it wasn't onside.
I know, after looking at it, I'm serious.
The skate has to be fully across that line. That was a very close play there. The linesman's a lot closer to it than we are from up here.
They call him the Mario Lemieux of Europe. Ruzicka, tremendously talented hockey player in Czechoslovakia for several years.
Raymond Bourque again after the draw now. Drives it back into the Penguins end. Pittsburgh leading 1-0 with 8 minutes gone already here in the second period. Ruzicka near corner centers it. It came off Barasso's stick and right to Mario Lemieux. Out to Bob Airy, and Airy trying to beat Bourque, and it's around Ray Bourque. Bourque hauls him down, knocks him down. Play continues, and Petri Skriko slides it back off the boards to center ice. Going for that puck will be Ruzicka. He gets it over to Dave Christian, and Christian dumps it into the Penguins' end. Roberts is hit by Petri Skriko. Well, Curry letting things go a little bit more here in the second period than he did in the first. Ruzicka again handles a biscuit. Lost it to Larry Murphy. Roberts has lost a stick for the Penguins. Murphy will be wise just to clear it ahead out of the zone. He does to Bob Airy. Airy on the off wing. Giving the puck intended for Recchi, but a penalty coming up here.
Against Ray Bork.
It's going to be against Raymond Bork for high sticking. Raymond Bork will sit down. He high stick one of the Penguins, and the Pens lead 1-0. We'll be back in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Relive the Penguins' dramatic rise to the Patrick Division title. Now on sale, the Penguins 90-91 highlight video. High-speed action, interviews, and an inside look at the Pens. Mail orders only. Send $19.95 plus $3 handling to Penguins Highlights. The Penguins Pro Shop. The Civic Arena, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 15219.
Raymond Bork will sit down for high sticking Mario Lemieux at center ice. Bork playing up on Mario, right in his face, literally. Lemieux playing up on him, I guess would be a better way to put it. Bork pushed him in the face.
So he'll sit down. The Penguins power play now just one for his last 18 attempts. And you got that feeling it's going to break loose sometime. And the Penguins leading 1-0. The Bruins have had pretty good penalty killing here tonight. They deal it up into the Penguins' end, even without Dave Poulin out there.
Well, Mark Ward is a pretty good penalty killer, and he is available.
He and Christian start the penalty killing. Larry Murphy to the left side to Scott Young. Young will shoot it in, took a weird bounce off the back of the net. Moog did not know where it is. It's played around to the right point, and Murphy has it. He shoots a stop made rebound. Bruins have that, and they clear Cooley. Good play by Galley just to take his time and get that puck and move it up ice. Murphy again retreating for the Penguins. A minute and a half to go on the penalty to number 77 of Boston, Ray Bork. Stevens glides his way into the Bruins end. Goes to Lemieux now. Off to Young coming towards the net. Young shoots it. Save made. Rebound Lemieux. That's stopped by Andy Moog, I believe. He couldn't get it up, but Andy Moog was down. And Andy Moog just robbed Mario Lemieux. Mario checks his stick. He wanted to get that puck up. I know he did, but he just couldn't do it.
And Scott Young came in with a very hard wrist shot. We talked a lot about his slap shot. He hasn't been getting it on the net enough, that's for sure. This time he had some time to walk in and wrist that puck. A good shot down low, and Moog had to go down to make the save. Lemieux got the rebound, and the shot was blocked by the defenseman. Here's what it looks like from the crow's nest. Andy Moog. That shot did get through. You just couldn't get it up. I thought that maybe the defenseman got a piece of it.
Face off to the right of Andy Moog with a minute 18 to go on the Bork penalty. Ray Bork off for the Bruins. Recchi losing the draw to Bob Sweeney. And can the Bruins get it out? They can't right now. The wrecking ball digging for it. Battle for it on the boards. Lemieux went to Scott Young, but that pass was too hard for Young to handle. And it hops right back to the Penguin line. Scotty Young gave it away to Lazaro, and Lazaro shoots it in. Now Lemieux with the Penguins. Lemieux comes up and dumps it down the boards into the Boston zone. From behind the net, Sweeney crunch on a check by Stevens. Lemieux has it. Trying to center it across. It came to the right point, though, to Larry Murphy. Left side to Scotty Young. 47 to go to Recchi. Now to Lemieux. He walks in, trying to go to Stevens on a perfect pass. Broken up by the Bruins. Now the Bruins read the play well. Scott Young's pass up the near side, right to the Bruins. A zone and Gary Galley, and Galley will slam it off the boards, and away it goes. A half a minute to go in the penalty to Ray Bork. Yager again, cruising through, going to the Bruins end, right behind everybody, going to the net, and he's knocked down. Couldn't get the shot off. Here's Wesley, pulled down by Yager. Around to the left point, Scott Young doesn't shoot it. Went back to Lemieux. Lemieux looking, went rink wide to Larry Murphy. Murphy back to Lemieux, left wing circle. Looks for Scott Young, doesn't shoot it. 7 to go on the penalty, back to the left point. He's going to fake a shot, moves in and drills it. Stopped by Andy Moog, and he got the glove up to stop Mario Lemieux. What a big save by Moog there, as Lemieux got all of a slap shot. And a good save by Moog, who stops Lemieux twice on this power play. Key saves by Andy Moog.
If Lemieux has time to tee up that slap shot from that very spot, he can bury it. He can just overpower goaltenders and blow it right by him.
And he had all of that one, and believe me, and Moog just read it out of the air and pulled it in.
I think Yager's got to play more on the power play, because when he handles that puck through the neutral zone, he really gets that Bruin defense backing up at the blue line, and the Penguins have had trouble gaining the zone. He's been able to gain it when he's been out there on the power play. Lemieux with so much time at that right point walked in, and just like he does on the golf course when he tees one up, I mean, he just let it rip. Moog was not very far back in the crease against Lemieux. I should say he was not very far out. He was in the crease, but got that glove up.
1 second to go, and the Bruins have killed 4 power play chances the Penguins have had. Important part of the game. Stanton trying to find Yager, went beyond him to the left wing corner. Yarmer now. Boyd's very Bork coming down the slot. Yager comes with a backhand shot. Save made. A rebound. Bob Airy trying to put it in front. There is Trottier shooting, and he missed the net. And Wesley of the Bruins hammered ahead to Ray Bork, who was hit heavily by Bob Airy, but here come the Bruins and Cam Neely. Neely to the Penguins in. A drop pass. Burridge unable to handle, and Trottier throws it ahead, but not out. Kept in by Burridge. He lost it to Trottier, and Yager on the move again. Looks for Bob Airy, and Airy is pulled down by Ruzicka. And he goes back to the Bruins zone. And Glenn Wesley of Boston hit by Yager. Randy Burridge just dumps it inside the Penguin line, and Ulf Samuelsson back to take command of it. Penguins lead 1-0 here with 8:40 to go in period number 2. Andy Moog of the Bruins. Right back in behind his own net. Here's Yager up in it again, and Don Sweeney swings it up the center to Ray Bork. Bork of Boston moving quickly to the Penguin stripe. In front to Burridge, and he couldn't quite get it through to him. Penguins trying to go the other way. Neely has it, trying to center himself. Samuelsson blocked that pass, and the Penguins counterattack. They've got fresh troops out. Here comes Stevens coming to the Bruins in, trying to go through the defense. It goes to the net, and the loose puck pulled in by Andy Moog. The Bruin goaltender to hold it one more time. 8:13 to go in period number 2. The Penguins won, the Bruins nothing here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
To us, the theory of relativity means always being relatively close to a party. In these parts, our wildest creatures come out only at night.
Yager a minute ago raced into the corner, and Don Sweeney was beating him by about 2 strides, and Yager was able to get in there and get his stick on the puck first to negate the icing call. Penguins were unable to keep the play alive, but nevertheless in the Boston zone, but it was an amazing bit of work by Jaromir Yager.
And again, Boston territory. The Penguins out shooting the Bruins 26-12. Now the Bruins have had only 1 shot in the second period. The Penguins have had 13. But they've not been able to get it by Andy Moog. Here's Stevens now. Off to Ronnie Francis, cutting from the net. Turn it over in front for Mullen. Deflected, coming over to Jennings. Back to Joe Mullen. Into the corner for Ron Francis. Francis turning away from a check now. Comes around, turns, to put it in front of Mullen. He shoots and scores! Joey Mullen makes it 2-0 Pittsburgh. And Andy Moog didn't know whether to cry or wind his watch as Joe Mullen got to the slot and scores.
Joey Mullen just pounced on that opportunity. That was a beautiful bit of work by Joey Mullen to read that play by Ronnie Francis, and a great play by Ronnie Francis behind the net. That's classic Ron Francis, that grinding style, the ability to make those tight plays, those plays in tight traffic behind the net, and just working that puck in front. It looked like he wanted to wrap it around, but Mullen came charging to the net. The puck came off Francis's stick, and Mullen just ripped it past Andy Moog. I don't know that he was trying to pass that puck to Mullen. It almost looked as though Ronnie wanted to wrap that puck around, and it rolled off his stick. It did. It just came off the blade of his stick, but Mullen was right there because he was sneaking in and aware that Francis was coming out in front.
So the Penguins get a second goal, and they now lead 2-0 here. Bill Bork of the Penguins cutting back into the Bruins in, going down behind the net. He centers it. And that's knocked aside and will come back to center ice and dumped away to the Penguin zone. Off in behind the Penguin net. Don Barrasso hit by Chris Nyland. A penalty coming up against Nyland. Interference to call. Nyland interfered with goaltender Barrasso. And the Bruins will be shorthanded again. We'll be back in a moment. 2-0 Pittsburgh on the Penguins Hockey Network.
If you're using a credit card to get a cash advance, you're probably getting soaked. Because ordinary cards charge you interest. Right from day one, which is why you should use the Discover card. Just pay your full monthly balance and a small transaction fee, and we'll give you cash, interest-free. So you can avoid taking a bath. It pays to Discover.
Chris Nyland better check the rule book because he was arguing with Bill McCreary. He was saying he didn't have the puck. Well, I'll tell you something. You have to curl away from the goaltender. It's just a rule that the league has instituted. You can't hit the goaltender after he gets rid of the puck. He's the only guy on the ice you're not allowed to do that to. You're allowed to finish your check against anybody else on the ice. You're not allowed to finish your check against the goaltender. You must turn away, and Nyland did not do that. He said to McCreary, he didn't have the puck. Doesn't matter, Chris. It's interference, and you're in the box.
So Nyland in and interference the call. And the Penguins go to work for the 5th time in the game. On the power play, they lead 2-0. Bob Sweeney for the Bruins against Mark Recchi. Face-off Penguins into the right of Tom Barrasso. And Bob Sweeney pulled it back to center. Ray Bourque. Well, the Bruins will give it to Evan Marquardt. The Bruins again have had only one shot in this period. And the Bruins have taken 3 penalties now. Here's Kevin Stevens off the right wing, going over to Mark Recchi, to Lemieux. Gives it up into the Bruins in, and Ray Bourque again back to take control of it. Can he clear it out? No. Good play by Murphy to keep it in. Played it up the body of Sweeney and reaches back and got it as Sweeney thought he had a breakaway chance. Big play by Larry Murphy there.
Murphy stays right with that puck. It's amazing sometimes. It looks like he's paddling upstream, but he's able to make those plays.
And then the Penguins force to their own end again, and Larry Murphy and Scott Young again back on that left point for the Penguins. And here comes Stevens. Offside. Recchi ahead as the puck crossed the line. That's an offside call against the Penguins. Pittsburgh again won for its last 19, and this is their another power play chance. They were 2 for 17. They're 2 for 21 against the Bruins in the power play.
I'll tell you, the Penguins can get away with this, I think, on their home ice because they've been able to pretty much control the tempo of the game, and they did that in Boston too, but I really believe that they've got to get the power play going on the road in this series.
I'm not going to argue with you on that. To win there, and you got to win the game at the Garden if you're going to win this series, and the Penguins, of course, have a 2-0 lead here, but this one's far from being over. And around the boards it goes. Larry Murphy unable to get it in center, and Phil Bourque now has it with 57 seconds to go on the penalty to the Bruins' Chris Nyland. Lead pass over to Kevin Stevens. He'll wheel it to Recchi. Steps into the Bruins in on the left side. A wrist shot. Stopped by Andy Moe. We got a glove on it. Around to the right wing corner. Recchi comes in, poking around to Murphy. Man wide open left point. Bourque. He can't go that way. Goes to Lemieux behind the net. Bourque is open though. He goes to Recchi instead. Near corner. The wrecking ball steps back for the Penguins. Looks. Goes to Murphy. Off his skates. Fake a shot. Now to Recchi. In the slot over to Phil Bourque. Bourque wristing one. Stopped by Ray Bourque of the Bruins. And Boston coming up now short-handed 2-on-2. Bob Sweeney will crisscross with Marquardt. Take it back towards the center ice area, doing a good job of killing penalty time. And he shoots it in. 15 seconds to go in the Nyland penalty. Penguins again unable to cash in here on these power play situations. And Stevens, Francis's pass cut off by the Bruins. Nyland is ready to come back on. And Murphy now giving the puck to Francis down the left wing to Yager, who was just onside on that play, very close to being offside, and is shot up ice, and the Penguins fail to score for the 5th time in the game.
Murphy was trying to lead Yager through there, and Francis thought he was passing it to him. Or Yager might have been in on a breakaway.
Yager moved it out of the zone towards the blue line, but not out. Lazaro kept it in. Samuelson now to Jaromir Yager. Here's Francis ahead with room to work with 2-on-1 to Dallas with Stanton. Here's Francis, left wing, Bruins in, comes down, a slam shot, save made, rebound, and it's Yager behind the net to take it. Yager of Pittsburgh coming around. Francis took that shot himself, figuring he could score a better opportunity than Stanton did, and Francis now has played a strong game tonight for the Penguins. Off to Joey Mullen. In fact, 2 big strong games for Francis against the Bruins in games 3 and 4. Mullen near corner, unable to make a play, and the Bruins come up with it, and they flip it back to center with 4:40 to go in the period. Off Samuelson. Got it to Ronnie Francis, and again he shoots it in, and Andy Moe will stop the play. From behind the net, Randy Burridge. Burgess pass through traffic to the right wing to Neely, but he lost the puck to Taglianetti, and here come the Penguins again. Bob Airy on the right wing, trying to beat Peterson. He'll come down, spin around. Peterson went down, now he knocked him down. Airy went off his skates. In the near corner, Brian Trottier fell down. The Bruins come streaking back to center. Randy Burridge going to Pittsburgh ice. He got around Taglianetti, but Taglianetti got enough of just reaching in to pull him down. Airy avoids a check by Pierce. Here come the Penguins 2-on-1 again. Trottier and Loney. Trottier to Loney. Right side, shooting, and blocked by Wesley. Loney got it back. He was a left-handed shooter on that right wing. Made it tough for him to take. The linesman got hit heavily on that play. That was Randy Mitten from behind the Boston goal. And Brian Trottier hit and knocked down by Wesley. They jam it up. Where's the puck? It's underneath Wesley. We'll take a timeout. 2-0 Pittsburgh, 3:42 to go in period number 2. Right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Want another way to play the Pennsylvania Lottery's daily number game? Play the front pair. Just match the first 2 numbers and you win, no matter what the last number is. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Or play the back pair. Just match the last 2 numbers and you win, no matter what the first number is. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 0. Match either pair and you win $50 for every dollar bet, no matter what happens to the other number. The daily number pair bet. It pays to play every day.
Penguins with a couple of 2-on-1 breaks, and classic case of the Penguins' ability to get the puck out in a hurry to catch the Bruins score-checking and trapping them in the Penguin zone. And the Pens with a couple of 2-on-1s, but Francis was with Stanton, and Loney was unable to get a shot away. And neither 2-on-1 resulted in a goal for the Pens, but they're back to getting a lot of chances against the Boston Bruins as they did in Game 3. And that won't go down as a shot on goal for the Pens, but it was a great scoring opportunity.
Penguins back to play. Roberts with a slap shot stop, and Bob Airy gets the rebound. Drilled it front, backhand attempt. And Trottier denied by Andy Moog again. Right now, Moog keeping the Bruins in this game. And Bob Airy hit by Lyndon Byers. Still a loose puck at center, and the Bruins come up with it. Dave Christian sneaks it back into the Penguins' end. The Penguins in this period have had 16 shots on Andy Moog. And Boston has had 1. Here's Bob Airy going up against Alan Peterson. Taglianetti takes over. I'll tell you, the Penguins could use another goal in this game, because you know the Bruins are going to have something left for the third period. They're going to go in there, and if they do not get a goal here late or get some action, they're going to be kind of embarrassed. Mark Ward shooting long, and that's the second shot of the period. Barrasso has that. Made the stop and put it in behind his own net. And they're still only down 2-0 in the game. And Phil Bourque delivers it back into the Penguins, the Bruins end. Skriko coming up with the puck. Petri Skriko lost it. Here's Recchi. Recchi now trying to feed it over to Lemieux, and around the boards by him, Peter Durst trying to whack it out. Couldn't do it. Lemieux has it. Lemieux being pressured. Lemieux comes in. He's building and knocked down heavily on a check by Gary Galley. He was fair game there, and Galley got him cleanly. And here is Christian around the boards, and out it goes. It will come to Skriko. Skriko stopped in the play, and Recchi again ready to come right back in. Goes to Lemieux against Alan Peterson. Lemieux back to Recchi, cutting for the net. He goes behind the goal. Skriko's on him, and he forces him wide, knocks him off his skates. And the Bruins turn and go the other way with 2:10 to go in the period. Skriko on top of Recchi. Played back into the Penguins end, and a shot towards the net by Peter Durst. That stopped. Bruins with a little bit of life right now here late in the second period. But Roberts knocking 2 of the Bruins down, and he comes out with a puck. Penguins should have an advantage here. Bourque on the move. Phil Bourque to the Bruins line. Cuts in. Goes right side to Lemieux. Lemieux trying to give it back to him, and he couldn't connect on the pass. And now the net's knocked off its moorings as Bourque was hit by Bob Beers going in towards that goal. And play is whistled down here as the net comes off the mooring.
Now Bourque was going to the net, and Mario Lemieux wanted to get the puck to him. He didn't want to shoot it. He wanted to pass it. Lemieux's not getting his passes off the ice. He's pushing him along the ice. A lot of times you'll see him use those saucer passes so effectively. He's been doing that in situations a couple of times tonight when he had an opportunity to do it. Great work by Roberts on the corner. Basically take 2 Bruins out of the play. And out came the Penguins with that puck. Gordy Roberts so steady with that puck in his own end. Always aware of who's around him and who he wants to get the puck to. Bourque came in, gave it to Lemieux. He tried to go back to Bourque, and it was broken up nicely by one of the Bruins, and Bourque went right to the net like he always does.
Bobby Beers made him pay the price for that. I mean, he drilled him against the goalpost, the crossbar.
Before that, Lemieux trying to Worked that puck into the slot, and Galley just lined him up and drilled him.
He had his head looking down, trying to make the play.
That's similar to a play that he got hit on against the Rangers in the regular season when the Rangers hit him, and he was coming out from behind the net on that incident with his head down, handling the puck one-handed. He got drilled. He's got to be careful on that move.
All right, down to 1:45 to go in the period. In period number 2, Beers lost the puck. Francis going to Joe Mullen on the Bruins end, and his wrist shot denied. Or not on the net. Francis again working hard. Ronnie Francis had a very, very strong second period for the Penguins, including setting up Mullen's goal and overall in the game too. And Randy Burridge passing through. You know, you get to the point right now, Paul, where you start thinking, you know, how many times in your lifetime you're going to get an opportunity to play this long into the season, and also maybe with a possibility to play for the Stanley Cup. And I think that's what a lot of Penguins are realizing right now. They've got a big opportunity here. They're trying to even this series at 2. Ray Bourque comes in, bouncing up in the right wing corner to Ruzicka. Ruzicka put it in front of the net. Barrasso knocks it wide. You just don't get that many opportunities. And Francis losing the puck to Ray Bourque. Bourque shoots it down low, and Barrasso stops that, but a penalty coming up here. And who's it going to be against? A holding call, I think, will be issued here against the Penguins. Late again in period number 2, as we had in period number 1, a holding infraction will be called against Pittsburgh. And the Bruins are trying to get Ruzicka away from everybody. They know the penalty will be issued here against the Penguins. And the Bruins are going to go to the power play again. It'll be Ulf Samuelsson headed off. Now the Bruins can thank number 35, Andy Moog, down at the other end for keeping him in this hockey game right now.
Samuelsson had hold of one of the Bruins sticks after he got dumped to the ice.
And as bad as things look for the Boston Bruins in the second period, they still are down by only 2, and they work with a power play again. It's amazing what a little guy in the net can do for you, or a big guy. It doesn't matter if he's big or small, as long as he keeps them out of there. And the Bruins going to work on their power play, their 4th opportunity. Penguins have shut them down here at the Civic Arena on the power play. The 2 games today. And Ruzicka, Janney, and Neely up front, with Gary Galley and Ray Bourque as the point men in the face-off in the Penguin zone. Randy Gillen, who's been superb in killing penalties, wins another draw. It goes to Gordy Roberts. And around the boards, can the Penguins get it out? They do. Let's see how long it takes for the Bruins to get it back into Penguin ice. Mullen, though, with the puck coming back shorthanded, 2-on-1. Mullen shooting, and a good save made by Moog again. And Joey Mullen got all of a big slap shot there. Gillen at the blue line. Walked in, and Mullen was inside the line, and an offside call. Penguins with a good shorthanded opportunity as Joe Mullen let it rip from the blue line on in. Andy Moog kicked it away. They have not put that shot on the board. And I looked up before the face-off, and the Penguins had 30 shots, and now they still have 30. So for some reason, have not posted Mullen's shot as a shot on the net.
Randy Gillen flying out here on the penalty-killing effort, and he was right there at the blue line trying to force the play back into the Bruins' end again after Mullen had taken that shot. Reading off of Joey Mullen very well. These two have done a great job tonight killing penalties for the Penguins.
35 seconds left in the period. We'll go by that clock. Penguins will be shorthanded the rest of the way. This time Boston has it. And here they come up now towards the Penguins' end. 24 seconds after the Penguins won that initial faceoff, the Bruins get back up into the Penguin zone. Janney digging against Taglianetti. Janney works it free, but it comes right to Gordy Roberts, and Roberts on a 3-on-2 shorthanded again with time to go in the period. Right side to Joe Mullen. He'll come in, fake a shot, put it in front, and Gillen can't put it in. He was too well covered by Ray Bourque. Bourque appears to be dead tired now. Coming up ice. He doesn't even join the play. 1 second to go now in the period, and it's all over. The period's ending. And we have only 1 goal in the second period as well as we had in period number 1, but it belongs to Pittsburgh again at the end of 2. The score, the Penguins 2 and the Bruins nothing, right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
This is a KBL News Break brought to you by KDKA TV2's Eyewitness News.
Good evening, I'm Stacey Smith. It has been another busy day in the Oval Office for President Bush. He made room in his busy work schedule to joke with reporters about his problem with an irregular heartbeat. His doctors say it was caused by an overactive thyroid and is easily treatable. West Virginia Senator Jay Rockefeller says he is strongly considering a run for the Democratic presidential nomination. He says he is frustrated that neither party is addressing the country's domestic problems. Governor Robert Casey said today that Chrysler Chairman Lee Iacocca had expressed prior interest in Pennsylvania's vacant Senate seat, and that's why he offered it to him. He expects to fill the vacancy later this week. Tonight's forecast calls for clear skies, a low near 40, sunny and warmer tomorrow with a high around 74. This has been a KBL News Break, sponsored by KDKA TV Eyewitness News. More at 11 on Eyewitness News Tonight.
More cars and greater savings than ever waiting for you on the runway. There's nothing else like it. 19 dealers in one convenient location, all working together to give you the best deal you can get. The Runway, one of the most concentrated selections of automobiles anywhere. Luxury cars, sports cars, compacts, trucks, wagons, vans, all priced to sell now. The Runway, 19 great dealers between the airport and Sewickley.
In my considered opinion, it's okay to enjoy mowing one's lawn. Oh, for heaven's sake. In fact, my snapper significantly enhances my sense of well-being. Of course, my snapper dealer was kind enough to offer a 14-day money-back test drive. The good man really stands behind his machines. So if you're looking for emotional satisfaction, my advice to you is seek professional help. That's right. See your snapper dealer. Anything less just won't cut it.
At the Civic Arena, the Penguins lead the Bruins 2-0. Joey Mullen scored the only goal in the Appliance Store scoring summary. He is fifth of the playoffs from Francis and Jennings at 12:08. And the Penguins dominated in the shots on goal. They had 17 in the period. The Bruins had only 4 and only 1 until about the 16-minute mark of that period. And on the power play, the Penguins still continuing to struggle a little bit. Only 0 for 5 again tonight. The Bruins 0 for 3, but they have an opportunity to go to the third period, down by just 2, as we get ready for the final 20 minutes here at the Civic Arena in this Game 4. When we come back, we'll talk to Penguin defenseman Paul Coffey and find out what his status is and how he's doing. We'll do that in just a moment right here on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Shop the Appliance Store, the Tri-State's name brand headquarters and largest Panasonic and Technics dealer. Get the biggest selection and the biggest savings on Panasonic TVs, portables, stereo monitor receivers, stereo projection TV, video cassette recorders, and video camera recorders too. Save on Technics receivers, cassette decks, CDs and CD changers, systems, Technics and Panasonic at the Appliance Store, where you get the best for less.
The Coach House presents the benefits of being a big and tall man. You can stand in the deep end of a swimming pool. It's easier to get a bank loan. Women think you're a pro athlete. And you can look head and shoulders above the rest at the Coach House. With fuller, longer cut designer clothing, custom tailoring, and the sewn-in Woolmark label that's your assurance of quality tested fabrics made of the world's finest pure wool. The Coach House, where big and tall men never get no for an answer.
I wanna know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
Eyewitness the difference on KDKA TV2.
This is the car that's become Western Pennsylvania's favorite midsize, hands down. The Chevy Lumina. And now with Smart Lease, you can drive a Lumina for just $219 a month and no money down. That's a V6 engine for $219 a month and no money down. An automatic transmission for $219 a month and no money down. And air conditioning for $219 a month and no money down. It's all yours with Lumina and a GMAC Smart Lease. And it's all exclusively at your Super Chevy Geo dealer. The more you look, the better we look.
It's time for King's Face-Off, brought to you by King's Family Restaurants, where you get lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it. And with us here at the Civic Arena upstairs, Penguin defenseman Paul Coffey. And Coffey, before we get to the game itself, I know people are concerned about your status and where it stands right now with a broken jaw, root canals. It seems it hasn't been a very kind playoff series to you for everything involved, but you're recovering. And tell us what the status is at the moment.
Well, status now is it's been 2.5 weeks since I had surgery on my jaw. Went and got it x-rayed today. The doctor that performed the surgery said it was healing well, coming along, but it's just that an injury of this sort takes time, and he predicted probably 3 more weeks.
Which would put you, if you got to the Stanley Cup Finals, really towards the tail end of it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, at that time, that's the way it looks.
I know the other night you were ready to go. I know you're antsy to get back in the lineup, and they had to devise a thing to come up. What made the ultimate decision that you would not play? Was it you or a conversation with Bob Johnson, or exactly how did that come about?
It was Bob Johnson's decision. The doctors laid it out on the table for me, and I probably was a little bit foolish. I was willing to take the risk, and Bob stepped in there and said there was no way he was going to let me play. If it was a 7th game or something like that, he possibly would have let me, but I think in the long run it was smart that we went that route.
Koff, look at this game tonight. It's game 4. The Penguins trying to even the series. They played well again tonight against the Bruins.
I think our club has played fantastic. The 4 games, this being the 4th game, I think, other than maybe parts of the first game, I think we really outplayed them quite a bit. I think if the shots are any indication in the last 3 games, I mean, we've been pretty well out shooting them 2-1, and I think if we continue to play that way and have a strong 3rd period here, then, we can pretty well go into Boston with some good confidence and, hopefully play a good game in there as well.
Koff, looking at this game itself, though, you would have to give Andy Moog a lot of credit, and the fact that the Bruins are only down 2-0 going to the power play to the 3rd still leaves the door open for them a little bit.
Well, definitely, Mike. The game is far from over. I think I know Andy Moog has played some great hockey for them, especially tonight. You have to look at the shots. We've out shooting them 2-1. And, we're up 2 goals, but I think any hockey player will tell you that's probably the worst lead in hockey. The Bruins are coming out with a power play at the start of the 3rd, and we've got to be ready for them. We can't give them an early goal and let them back into the game. And I think if we can kill this successfully and play the way we played that 2nd period, we'll have no problem.
If by chance the Penguins win this series against the Bruins, and if by chance the Edmonton Oilers were to win it, would that be something for you to go back and play? If you did get 3 weeks clearance, so that to play against the Oilers, what a thrill that would be, huh?
Well, I'd definitely love to play them in the final. I mean, I think anytime you win the Stanley Cup, it's nice to beat the defending champs. I know when I played in Edmonton in the early 80s, there's no team that we wanted to beat or respected more than the New York Islanders. And I think with our hockey club here, if we keep working and are fortunate enough to get by the Boston Bruins, which we're all positive we can do, that we'd definitely love to get a crack at the Oilers. And myself personally, I'd love to play them. It was something that I never thought would ever happen, but we're pretty close right now, and hopefully the 2 of us can pair off.
Koff, if the Penguins were to win tonight and even this series, they got to win a game in the Boston Garden to move on. They have to win one. What do they have to do differently to win there?
Probably just capitalize a little more. I don't think that we've played a better game all playoffs than we played in game 2 in Boston.
I agree with you. Yep.
We come up a little bit short, and those things just happen. I think we've got to go in there, play a patient defensive game as we've been playing it all throughout the playoffs, and scoring our chances. And if we do that, we're going to win the game.
And again, I think that the power play may play an important part of it. I know it's tough for you to sit upstairs and watch it with the ability that you have and watch it time and time again, but I would think the Penguins will have to convert some of these chances against the Bruins to be successful, and in the Stanley Cup Finals should they go too.
Well, power play and penalty killing are definitely a big part of a team and a big part of the game, and we've had a lot of chances on our power play. We're yet to score on a lot of them, but our power play has been playing fantastic out there. We've had a lot of chances. We've been getting the puck in. We've been setting up, and we're just not finishing. Maybe the puck's hitting skates and we're getting bad bounces, but we keep working hard on it. Sooner or later, we're going to get our chances and we're going to score.
All right, Koff, hope to get you back in that lineup before it's all done, and we appreciate you coming by.
Okay, Mike.
All right, Paul Coffey's been our special guest, and a reminder to you, be sure to join us next time for King's Face-Off, brought to you by King's Family Restaurants. And remember, next time, make it King's. More hockey in a moment on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Welcome to Pittsburgh. What can I rustle up for you, partner?
If you think you're saving money eating fast food, think about this. At King's, for the same money, you could get lots of choices, lots of delicious food, and lots of time to enjoy it.
Yippee-yi-yo!
Next time, make it Kings.
WDBE welcomes the World Wrestling Federation when it returns live to the Pittsburgh Civic Arena Sunday, May 19th at 7:30 p.m. You'll feel the power in the main event as the Ultimate Warrior battles The Undertaker. Other matches include the Nasty Boys defending the tag team belts against the Legion of Doom, and Earthquake collides with Jake the Snake Roberts. Tickets on sale at the box office and all Choice Seats locations. The WWF, May 19th at the Pittsburgh Civic Arena.
I wanna know what you're thinking. Tell me what's on your mind.
Eyewitness the difference on KDKA TV2.
Ordinarily, I find weekends mowing with my snapper to be a rewarding route to ego gratification. Unfortunately, Mother Nature does sometimes intercede,
Hi. Mowing calls on a can of rain? How about some company?
which only serves as a reminder that one must not neglect the social animal within.
Snapper walk mowers starting at $299.95 at these local Snapper dealers.
Start and check out this 21-inch mowing deck and 6-speed on-the-go shifting and...
Discover Card, the card that pays you back, is going to tell you who the top guys are in terms of putting that puck in the net here in the playoffs and for the Penguins. And it's Kevin Stevens with 10, Mario Lemieux with 8, Mark Recchi with 7, and Joey Mullen with 5, and Ronnie Francis with 4. The Penguins have 2 pucks in the net in this one so far. A 2-0 lead over the Boston Bruins after 2 periods of play, outshooting the Bruins 30-15. Andy Moog has been unbelievable. Kevin Stevens' dramatic overtime goal against Washington in the Patrick Division Finals, and Jaromir Jagr's against New Jersey. These are big moments in Penguin history, and they are yours for the taking if you want to order the Penguins 1990-91 highlight video. The tape features action footage from the team's Patrick Division season, as well as the playoffs and interviews with all your favorite players as they go for the Cup. Available only through mail orders. Send $19.95 plus $3 handling to Penguins Video Highlights, care of the Penguins Pro Shop, Civic Arena, Pittsburgh 15219. Please allow 8 weeks from the end of the playoffs for delivery. That's the 1990-91 Penguins video, yours for only $19.95. And on Sunday, May 19th, WWF comes back. We thought it was here yesterday, the way Mike Milbury was putting on a show. Jake the Snake will battle Earthquake, and there's 2 title matches. Mr. Perfect against the British Bulldog for the Intercontinental title. The tag team title's up for grabs, too. The Nasty Boys will go against the Legion of Doom. Before the match on Sunday, May 19th, Hacksaw Jim Duggan will autograph photos. Tickets are on sale now at all Choice Seat locations, or call 333-SEAT. We're taking a break, and we're coming back. It's the Penguins 2, Boston nothing, here in Game 4 of the Patrick Division, the Wales Conference Championship Series on the Penguins Hockey Network.
Hockey, it's one of America's fastest growing sports, and now you can be a part of it all. At Rick's Hockey Supply, you'll find an incredible selection of equipment for street, deck, and ice hockey, including helmets, gloves, skates, and a full line of quality Cooper products. Rick's Hockey has the largest selection of hockey sticks in the Pittsburgh area. Also choose from a variety of officially licensed NHL apparel. Get in on all the excitement. Visit Rick's Hockey Supply, located across from Eaton Park at the Parnassus Triangle.
You always get a great deal from the straight shooters at Lieberth & Sons Dodge.
We interrupt this commercial with special news. Lieberth & Sons is featuring a new 91 Dakota pickup for $99.90. A 91 Dakota with air conditioning, V6 engine, 8-foot bed, and much more. Save over $4,500 now. Wow, what a deal!
Remember the straight shooters at Lieberth & Sons Dodge in Oakmont, by the bridge.
Best kept secret in town.
When I was buying a pickup, I asked around. Some of the guys drive Chevys or Fords, but this Toyota has more standard horsepower, more towing capacity. It even carries a bigger payload than a Ford Ranger. And when you figure things like depreciation and repairs, it could cost a lot less to own than one of their trucks. So I got a Toyota. Doesn't mean I'm any smarter than those guys. But you don't see me carrying that couch either.
See your Toyota dealer today for Toyota value. It's the best deal going.